Well, the United States versus Billie Holiday is streaming now on Hulu. Matt Perrin shares his thoughts on the film in your Monday Movie Musings.
Welcome to another Monday. If you were looking for something to watch this weekend, there were several options. Even though it took #1 at the box office by a stunning margin and was available for home viewing, I could not bring myself to watch Tom and Jerry. I'm sure it was cute, but there were more poignant movies out there. With the Golden Globes happening, several nominees were available, and I went to Hulu for a look at the film that won Andra Day the Golden Globe for Best Actress. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the United States versus Billie Holiday. Our movie begins following the life of Billie Holiday, portrayed by Day. A popular jazz singer, Holiday drew audiences from all around, but with one of her songs, she also drew the attention of Hoover and the FBI. The song was Strange Fruit, and it dealt with lynchings taking place down south. Knowing they couldn't make a case because of a song, they decided to go after her for drugs. Holiday was a larger-than-life persona. She loved intricate things, rubbed elbows with the upper crust, but yes, she also had an addiction to heroin. The FBI sends in undercover agent Jimmy Fletcher, played by Trevante Rhodes. He became friends with the singer and after a time reveals himself, and Holiday is sent to prison for a year for drugs. Upon release, Holiday is determined to be bigger than ever, minus the drugs. Progressive for her time, she sells out to arenas to non-segregated crowds, but she is determined to be heard and refuses to stop singing her song, which keeps her in the crosshairs of the FBI. As the movie progresses, we see a relationship form between Holiday and Fletcher. The man who once put her away becomes one of her strongest supporters to the point of losing his job. Despite what law enforcement tries, Holiday continues to sing for all she's worth. We do get to see her demons though, be it drugs, confusing relationships, or things that happened in her youth. All of them led her to where she is today. We, as the audience, get to hear the voice that we all recognize, but now get to see her tumultuous story that maybe we didn't know, and feel sickened that the federal government hounded her all the way until the end. So, what to say about this one? As I alluded to a second ago, Billie Holiday has one of the most recognizable voices of all time. But until this movie, I didn't know much about her. For the second time in a few weeks, we have gotten to see just how reprehensible middle of the 20th century federal law enforcement actually was. They were terrified of the civil rights movement and would stop at nothing to stop it in its tracks. As a result, America was cheated out of so much, and movies like this are important in making sure we don't forget or repeat that history. After seeing this, I definitely believe that Andra Day was deserving of that Golden Globe. She put everything into this role, covering an emotional spectrum as if she was actually Billie Holiday. My only criticism of the movie is that even though it focuses on the antagonistic relationship between Holiday and the FBI, I don't feel like it really got into the Strange Fruit song enough. It shows her getting taken off stage for singing it, and we see a fantasy sequence that shows why it is important to her, but we never really get into the meat of her fighting for the song, which I think would have added a little more oomph to this story, rather than focusing more on tragic events of Holiday's life. But once again, it's important to get these events on records, and it's important to see these films for a clarity on history that is long overdue. This has been your Monday Movie Musing. Back to you.
Well, stick with us. Tyler has one last look at your forecast when the news at noon continues.